Hi, is this the Kingdom Hall?
Who?
Is this the Kingdom Hall?
I belong to the Kingdom Hall, but this is not the Kingdom Hall.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your number is listed as the Kingdom Hall. I didn't mean to bother you at home.
That's okay.
Do you have a minute?
Sure.
Well, I just had a question I wanted to ask about something I saw on the jw.org website. Is that your website, jw.org?
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. Well, it's really interesting. It was in this. I was looking up things about it's called the Great Crowd. Did you ever hear of that? It's a very unique doctrine in Jehovah's Witnesses. So I was trying to look up more stuff about it, but it's a one-shore 1980, August 15th, and it's trying to explain why in Revelation 7, it's either 14 or 15, it says that the great crowd serve God day and night in his temple. Have you ever heard that verse?
Yeah.
Yeah, the word temple, this is a difficulty because the word temple means, is in Greek, naas, which means the inner sanctuary, where only priests could go. They're trying to say this is a whole different category, and they only serve in the typical outer. It's a type of, they're not in heaven because they're in the outer court or something like that. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then the word.
Are you one of Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh no, I had a question.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I thought you were a Kingdom Hall. And you must
okay.
be like, are you one of the leaders or something like that?
Well, what they consider one of the elders in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then you'll be able to help me here.
I hope so.
Well, then in this article, this is like unreal. Like they say here, why they're trying to explain why that word is used, which means inner sanctuary. That's not even a disputed thing. It means where only priests could go, the inner court, the Holy of Holies, the divine presence and stuff like that. So it says here that where Christ drove out the money changers from the temple was the Hieron, which means the whole temple, including the outer court.
Right.
But then when you look up the word in all the references to that incident, it's the word naas again. I mean, it's not the word naas. It is Hieron. They're trying to say that means the whole temple, because that's where Jesus drove out the money changers. I know it's hard when you're not really looking at that, but this is totally wrong. I mean, even in the Kingdom Interlinear Translation, it uses the word Hieron wherever it talks about the money changers, and then they say in their magazine, it was from the courts of the outer temple, which was the naas. That's not the word that's used there. It's Hieron, meaning the whole temple, including the outer court. Why did they do that? Did they ever, correct that?
Well, when they talk about the outer court, they talk about, the Bible talks about those. There are people who go to heaven, okay? And it says that they will be part of the kingdom that will rule over the earth. Okay. Because it says the earth is going to be restored to a paradise under God's kingdom. If you look in the book of Psalms, 37, Psalm and verse 9, 10, and 11, and it talks about a time when there'd be no more wicked people on the earth, there'd be no more crime, there'd be no more war, there'd be no more hunger. All those negative things are going to be gone. The earth is going to be clean under God's kingdom, and it says those righteous ones will live on the earth and live on it forever. So there'll be no more sickness and death. All those bad things, see, because, people weren't created to die, except because of what Adam and Eve did. They brought sin upon the world, and we've all inherited that. It's just like, somebody has heart problems in a family, and pretty soon their children might inherit that same sickness. So Christ came to pay a ransom to buy back life for us. That was his purpose of coming. And so, obviously you're a Bible reader.
Mm-hmm.
You read the Bible. Okay, you know, in the Lord's Prayer says about let your kingdom come,
Mm-hmm.
let your will be done on
Our
earth.
Father who art in heaven. Mm-hmm.
Right. Let your name be sanctified.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, what is his name? It's Jehovah.
Um,
And we're letting people know that God does
Jehovah.
have a name.
Well, it's all we know is YHWH, a tetragrammaton. So Jehovah was, somebody came up with that, at some point, kind of guessing. They've even said themselves Yahweh is more accurate. And also, name in the Old Testament can also mean the divine presence of Yahweh. It's actually personified sometimes when it says the name, which is really interesting. But anyways, well, you just reiterated like all their beliefs and everything about the two-class system, but that's not what I was asking about. I'm asking why did they say this lie here when they're trying to prove this? They said it was from the courts of the outer temple, and then they put in parentheses, Naas, that Jesus drove the money changers. And in every instance, the three references to that incident says Hieron. They can even see it. It's very, it's not hard to see. It's in the Kingdom Interlinear. It's in other interlinears. It's not the word Naas. They're trying to imply that it could mean the whole temple. It doesn't. I just wonder why I thought it was like from Jehovah, their magazines or something like that. That's it's like they're doing that on purpose. It's not. I'm just a layperson. I can look that up and see.
Yeah. Well, I'd have to do a little homework on that myself.
Well, did you get that? Maybe you can check it out. It's August 15th, 1980. Page 14 to 16. The great crowd renders sacred service where? And all your narrative about that doctrine, which you really just reiterated, that's so problematic because it makes most of the New Testament promises like not apply to you. Does that ever bother you?
What do you mean it doesn't apply to us?
Well, they even said the New Testament is primarily for the anointed class.
No, that isn't so. No.
Okay, well,
No.
are you open to looking at the references on that in your own literature? I could.
Yeah, but if you look in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 5 and see what Jesus said, he said the meek shall inherit the earth. Mm-hmm. So he's talking about those who will inherit the earth.
Well, if you look up inherit in the, they have that book, the 2 volumes. What's that called? Where you can look up words and topics. Mm-hmm. It's like green. What is it called again? I haven't looked at it in a while.
Yeah, I know.
It's like alphabetical, like the Bible. It's like a Bible. What do you call that? Bible topics, Bible dictionary. But it's their own. Yeah. It has a certain name, but I forgot. I haven't looked at it in a while. But when you look up inherit, they apply that to the anointed class. So that's not really a good verse to use for trying to prove that. See, because...
Well, why can't the earthly ones inherit the earth? That's what it says.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about your organization applies it to the anointed class, and I can give you references on that.
Yeah, no, I would have to disagree on that because it's if you look in...
because it doesn't say live on the earth, it says inherit. And believers, all believers are co-inheritors with Christ, joint heirs with Jesus. And, of course, they exclude you from it, but...
If you look in Psalm 37 and verse 29, and it'll tell you exactly what I'm saying. It says that those will inherit the earth and live on it forever. Live on the earth forever.
Well, some people interpret that as land because the word actually can mean land as well. And contextually in the Old Testament, it's really speaking to Israel. And they were always promised that land called the Promised Land when they were following the law and righteous and stopped worshiping the Baals and all the other idols. They were promised the land. And of course, many Christians believe in a renewed and restored earth. That's not the problem. The problem is that it takes away from you all the gospel promises, like having a new heart put within you, the Holy Spirit within you. If you look up being in Christ, we have redemption, justification, being reconciled with God, having the Spirit within. They say, oh, that doesn't apply to you. And you only get benefits if you adhere to them, which that's very strange.
You know, we have, at last count, over 700 people a day that are becoming Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's sad. That's good.
No,
because
it's really not.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but we go to prisons. We talk to people that have done bad things in their lives. They've made changes. They've become better people because of what we're teaching. And
so do people that go to Alcoholics Anonymous become better and solve their problems. That doesn't prove the truth.
We don't go to war for any country in the world.
Right. I know.
We don't have paid ministers. It's all volunteer work.
But you have clergy.
No.
Do you know that in court right now and at other times they're claiming clergy privilege after all the decades they just castigated and demeaned people that have the title clergy? Now they're going to court trying to claim clergy privileges. Why they didn't call the police on pedophiles? Because it's confidential, because they're clergy? Yeah. I mean, did you hear about that?
There's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot of things that people claim, but I don't think I can help you out. It seems like you're kind of going in a negative term. So I don't know what you want.
Oh well, I just wanted to ask you that question about the inner court there and Hiron and Naas and why they are so deceptive about what word that is. And well, maybe just check it out.
Yeah, August 1980, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
look at it.
Thanks so much. Thanks for talking with me. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye.